Morning, everyone. We are ready to begin the webinar. I'd like to introduce Harriet Carter, Vice President, Customer and Partner Services at the Detroit Metro CVB.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to today's webinar. I am Harriet Carter, Vice President of Partner and Customer Services. And thank you for joining us today. We are so excited to partner with Delta Airlines today. You will find out an update on domestic and international travel services, safety and service initiatives, and we will discuss trends in both meetings and conferences. If you guys have any questions for our speakers today, please use the Q&A button. For any additional comments on how we're doing and want to say hello to everyone, please use our chat function. But before we begin, I want to thank you all. Thank you all for your partnership, your commitment, and your support of the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau and the hospitality industry. This is a true testament to Metro Detroit's uncrushable spirit. With that being said, I would love to introduce our speakers. Stacy Nerf, Senior Sales Account Executive with Meetings and Conferences with Delta Airlines, and Patrick Pickens, Manager of Meetings and Convention and Conferences Services with Delta Airlines. Stacy?
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for letting us join you today. We're very excited. As a matter of fact, I was just in your fair city during that beautiful bit of sunshine and fabulous weather you were having as we conducted with our partners at Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau for the meeting exchange. We were very excited to have 9 meeting planners join us in Detroit as the CVB team did an excellent job of showcasing and highlighting everything it is that you have to offer in Detroit. We're so looking forward to the outcome as we all get back to business, which we're very excited about doing. So Patrick's with us here today, and together we are going to go over the highlights that Harriet pointed out with regards to Delta service as we come back to business. And we would love to hear any questions that you might have. Please feel free to chime in during the presentation, but we'll also hold some time at the end if you'd rather just address them at the end of the presentation. No worries. Use the Q&A feature. There is a chat feature as well. Make sure you go to the Q&A feature. That way we can address it right away. So Patrick, you want to take it away?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I hope that you're having a wonderful start to your day. Harriet, thank you very much for that warm welcome. Stacy and I are super thrilled to be here today. And like Stacy mentioned, really the format of this is not to have a presentation to share and we have some slides, but we don't want to like slide you to death. We really want this to be interactive, and please use the chat feature. Stacy is going to be on it monitoring questions, and if something comes up, we're going to take that and kind of interact with it as it comes in. So we really want this to be super informal. But before we dive straight in, I also thank you. The last 14, 15 months have been so difficult, and Delta Airlines has not been immune to that. We're really grateful for all your partnership and support, and wanted to give a huge shout out to Detroit Metro CVB. They are true partners and the best of the best in the industry, and we're so grateful to have them as a partner as we navigated the last 14 to 15 months, and can't speak highly enough of Detroit Metro CVB. So again, I'm going to share a quick presentation and we will go from there. Give me 2 seconds and I will share this presentation. Perfect. And gonna go ahead and just dive right in. Again, really quick presentation. Please use the chat feature when I share my screen. Unfortunately, I can't see the chat, so Stacy will be monitoring that. First thing we wanted to do is hopefully all of you have had the opportunity to travel in the last 14 to 15 months. Over those 14, 15 months, essentially we put the airline to sleep at the beginning of this. All the airlines were hit really hard by COVID-19, and essentially we went from the best year we've ever had in 2019 to unprecedented times, and it was extremely difficult. And when we started this out, we were not experts in cleanliness. We were not experts, in COVID-19. And so, we really reached out to experts, and we own that vulnerability of not being the best. So we reached out to the best. We created partnerships with them that are still in place. And hopefully you've been able to experience them firsthand, but we've really set the bar in the industry for cleanliness and sanitation. And it really has gone beyond just the industry. We have several companies and organizations and corporations that have reached out to Delta to kind of learn from the practices that we've put in place and the partnerships that we've put into effect. Also, last note on this, just wanted to also provide an update. Yes, we've enhanced our sanitation and cleanliness, but we're taking it even a step further. Moving into the future, we want to be known as the cleanest airline there is. We have hired Dr. Henry Ting as our Chief Medical Officer. That's going to take the practices and measures that we've put into place for cleanliness, sanitation, and health and safety. And we're going to continue to evolve those as we move into the future, adding a wellness feature into that travel ribbon. We all know that travel can be very stressful. So really excited to see what our health and sanitation team and cleanliness team continue to evolve as we come out of COVID-19. Again, we're really excited. Yes, the last 14, 15 months were extremely difficult. And in the United States, we're starting to reopen and reconnect the world. And we want to be super sensitive to other parts of the world that are still being heavily impacted by COVID-19. And so we're super sensitive about that. Speaking strictly into the United States with the rollout of vaccine, that's built a lot of customer confidence, and we're starting to see our numbers come back, especially in the leisure market. And we're seeing really positive signs in the corporate travel side of things, and that's coming back quite strongly. Again, you're going to see that we're going to continue to evolve the process as the CDC and World Health Organization updates its policies. One of the questions we get quite a bit is about how long am I going to have to wear a mask on an aircraft? That is actually not a decision that Delta Airlines makes. It's the FAA that ends up making that decision. And there is a federal mask mandate that is in place until September of 2021. And we are waiting an update from the government on how that will evolve past September. But at this moment in time, we know that it is until, I believe it's the end of September. And we'll be sure to share updates as that comes available. Again, dedication to safety and health and safety have always been our number one priority and will continue to be our number one priority as we come out of this. Again, you're going to see many more travel plans and preparation for travel. We understand that it is a weird time to travel, especially if you're traveling internationally. There's a lot of different rules and regulations. And prior to this, Harry and I were talking. I actually just got back from international travel. I was just in the British Virgin Islands, which is obviously part of Great Britain. It's a territory, and had to go through all the processes of testing. And I understand firsthand some of that extra stress that comes with having to do COVID tests before and after, and fitting it into a time frame so that it works, and finding the right test provider. And Delta's really stayed very close with our customers and to our travelers, and we've found out that in that travel ribbon, it is really stressful. And so we've put into a lot of effects to make that entire travel journey much easier for their customers and for the businesses that are sending their travelers back out there. We also have a tremendous amount of resources. And if you haven't been on delta.com in a little bit, definitely encourage you if you're planning on traveling. We have some really phenomenal resources that our incredible teams at Delta have put together. We have really interactive maps where you can go on and pretty much click on any country in the entire world, and it's updated in real time. And as restrictions and quarantine measures continue to evolve, our teams are working very closely with those countries and the airports in the region to stay updated on testing protocols, quarantine measures. And this map lets you hover over a country, and it will tell you everything you need to know about traveling to that country. It'll give you, you can see in the middle there with the Netherlands, it is open with restrictions. So quarantine may be required. You have to have that negative COVID test, and you have to have forms of health insurance. So it makes it really easy as a traveler. As you go on Delta, you can kind of easily see in a very clear-cut way what's required as you, plan your travel and as you prepare for departure. Really great resources. Highly encourage you to definitely go on and check that out. Stacy, any questions in the Q&A box? I'll pause here for.
Yeah.
Not yet. Remember, please use the chat feature. Happy to answer those as we continue to move along. Again, this one is more for international travel, and I know several of you on this may be very interested in international travel, and many of us are very eager to get back out there and visit parts of the world that we haven't been able to see. Again, we're really following the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and World Health Organization. There's several different steps that you have as you go through that entire travel journey. And at this moment in the United States, to come back into the United States after you have been outside the country, a negative COVID test is still required to come back into the US. At this moment in time, we do not know when that will be lifted. That again is really a federal mandate that is decided outside of Delta Airlines or really any of the other national carriers. When we started this out, we understood that flexibility is really going to be the key as we continue to come out of this, and we want to be extremely easy to do business with, and we want to make sure our customers are happy and they have that flexibility they need, because really we understand that the shoes that you're in, when you commit to something right now, you need to have that flexibility to help build that confidence. And we've really worked closely with our internal teams as well as listening to customers to make sure that we are flexible and easy to work with. We've actually eliminated change fees, which was a huge announcement that we made in COVID-19. That's a huge cost savings for customers, but it also lets you book with confidence as you kind of continue in building up your confidence to come back to travel, or if it's already there, when you do book, you have that flexibility. Again, if you had any e-credits that were given to you, maybe at the beginning of COVID, you canceled some travel plans, we issued those in e-credits. We've extended those so that the validity of them is much longer. In addition, if you have a Delta Platinum Amex card, we've actually extended the companion tickets on those as well. We really want to be super easy to do business with. And again, that travel planning center, we have a ton of resources available for travelers as we continue to get to the other side of COVID-19. Again, we know that status means a lot, and we know that as you come out of this, many people are wondering what's going to happen with my status. We've had a tremendous amount of, first off, we've extended everyone's status that was until February of 2022. We also have, reclaim my status feature, so that if you lost status to a life event, you can help earn it back over a 3-month period, which is a really great feature to have. We want to get you back on board. We really appreciate your partnership and continued support, and we look forward to welcoming you on board, and we want to make sure that we have resources in place to help you get back that status as quickly as possible. Again, this is just another slide that kind of talks about that, how to get back your status quicker. Again, we'll be sure to maybe share some of these resources afterwards so that you have the ability to take a look at this. As a reminder, if you have platinum, gold, or silver status, really great resources there. You get that free baggage, which is great cost savings. So some more information there. Then we wanted to get into specifically Detroit network. So the next couple of slides are all about network. And I know many of you that maybe submitted questions before this had some questions on our specific network and where that's going into the future and what we know both domestically and internationally. So this slide is specific about Detroit. And this is for the first 3 weeks of June. And as we look at 2019, first 3 weeks of June, and 2021, first 3 weeks of June, you can see in 2019, we had 8,178 flights. And in 2021, we have had 6,429 flights. Really great update there. We're down only 21%. And at the height of COVID-19, we were down to, I think it was, we were down 96%. We were operating on a skeleton schedule. So that shows just the leaps and bounds that we've made over the past 14 months as we continue to recover. And the good news is that trend line is still going up, and that, down 21% year over year with 2019 compared to 2021. We expect that to get back up to 100% of that 8,178 really soon. The great news is our seats were only down 19%. So although the number of flights may potentially be down 21%, the amount of seats are only down 19% because we've been able to put in aircrafts with more seats on them. And then our passengers are down 25%. And then load factor essentially means what percentage of the aircraft is full. So 90% of the aircraft in 2019 was full, and in 2021, 82% was full. So when you really look at that, we're down 7% with the total load factor that's on an aircraft, which speaks to the testament and importance of Detroit. Detroit is a key hub for Delta Airlines, and these numbers show the commitment that Delta Airlines has to Detroit. And we will continue to be phenomenal partners of Detroit and maintain that commitment as we continue to come out of COVID and into the future. Transatlantic, I'm not going to go over all these, but super high level. We have 70 plus nonstop transatlantic routes to over 45 markets. They're all listed here. The great news is, as we compare, this is for July of 2021. As we compare July to just this month that we're currently in, we've added 10 nonstop routes and we've added 15 additional markets. So just in the course of 1 month, we're already seeing growth in this market. And we understand that a lot of people are really eager to get back to Europe, and we want to make that super easy. I imagine that these numbers will continue to grow as quarantine measures and restrictions into travel continue to lessen. So really excited to see once we get into July, August, these markets continue to grow, giving you more options to get to Europe. Trans-Pacific, this has really been flat month over month, and this is due to just some of the restrictions that are still in effect and quarantine measures that are still in effect in Asia. But we have 18 total nonstop Trans-Pacific routes, and then 6 routes with daily frequencies. So if you need to get to the Trans-Pacific area, we still have a tremendous amount of lift into the area. And we do expect this to grow as we continue to come out and see these areas continue to lessen restrictions, et cetera. Again, this is really trans-border into Mexico. We have added 2 routes month over month for a total of 45 nonstop trans-border routes. 37 of those have daily frequencies, and obviously on the right, you can see a lot of the specific routes that we have. Really, in the last couple of months, we've been really building up our mountain and coastal destinations, and many of those are in Mexico. Los Cabos and Cancun have been really big for us. And in addition to that, the Caribbean has also been a huge growth market for us. And talking about trends that we're seeing is we're still seeing a lot of those regulations and restrictions in other parts of the world. So as travelers in the leisure market, we're seeing people stick a little bit closer to home, venturing into Mexico and the Caribbean. A lot of the hotels there have also implemented great testing protocols, which make it very easy for American travelers as they plan their travel. Going into Central America and South America, 20 total nonstop routes, 15 of them with daily frequencies. Again, this is flat month over month. And a lot of this is due to, again, those international restrictions and quarantine measures, as well as parts of South America have seen, are still struggling with COVID in their countries, which is obviously those restrictions and regulations and quarantine measures are still very much in place. Again, that is flat month over month. And then Caribbean, this is flat over month, but that is actually due to the fact that over the last couple of months, we've really built up this network. And in July, we'll have 34 nonstop routes, 24 of them with daily frequencies. And again, on the right, you can see the cities that we're flying to. As I mentioned with Mexico, Caribbean is a really big hot zone for us right now, and hot zone meaning that it's big for leisure travel as we continue to recover. Many American travelers are seeing the Caribbean as a great location to go because, again, it's close to home, feel a little bit more comfortable not being super far away. And again, many of the resorts and destinations down there have put in testing protocols for travelers as they come back to the United States to make it very easy. Canada, 9 total nonstop transborder routes. Canada has been a little bit difficult, and it's flat month over month because they still have the 14-day quarantine. If you come into the United States and come back to Canada, you're required to quarantine. So as soon as they lessen that quarantine time or remove some of those restrictions or quarantine measures, I imagine that this will probably stay flat month over month as we continue to recover. But once those are lifted, our network back into Canada will definitely build back up very quickly. And then Africa. Africa is actually some great news that we had earlier this week. That we are at 100% of our 2019 markets. We're servicing all the markets that we had in 2019 in Africa. Africa is a phenomenal country. And if you haven't had a chance to go, amazing place to go. We have added back in Johannesburg service, which is very exciting. And this market will continue to be very important for us as we continue to recover from COVID-19. I'm going to stop here. And Stacy, any questions or topics on your end?
No, so Patrick, I've been feeding in commentary as you as you've been going through the presentation, and so they probably haven't had an opportunity to I'm proactively adding additional information.
Perfect. Well, again, we want this to be super interactive, and you guys are being a really quiet bunch. So please make sure to type in any questions you may have. There's no stupid question. And if we don't know the answer, we'll ask for your contact information and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. So remember to use that chat feature. Clear is an amazing company. And, you know, as I mentioned, we put Delta Airlines essentially to sleep at the beginning of COVID. And in the news, it's been no shock for not just Delta Airlines, but all the domestic US airlines as we essentially wake the airline back up. We've had some personnel and HR, growth from our end on the leisure side, it was essentially a light switch that just came back on and the floodgates opened and leisure travel came back. So there's definitely been some personnel stuff, but Delta has learned from that. They've grown from it. Thankfully, we haven't had to cancel any flights due to, personnel. But as, travel continues to recover, we're really hiring and restaffing our airports. I know the Detroit airport is hiring, and where I'm getting at this is if you arrive at the airport and you're stuck in a long security line, Delta has an equity stake in Clear. It's a phenomenal company. It helps you breeze through the airport. And I'm mentioning this because It really has been a lifesaver personally for me, as I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and sometimes you arrive at the airport and the security line is snaking through those um, wait areas, and Clear is available in the Detroit airport. I've used it there several times, and it's a great resource for travelers in and out of Detroit.
I just added into our chat, Patrick, during our meeting exchange yesterday. We had one person who, for whatever reason, didn't get their TSA pre-check, but the rest of the group had TSA pre-check, and I have Clear and TSA pre-check, and so we literally, nobody experienced a wait longer than 5 to 10 minutes in Detroit, which
Awesome.
is unusual. And wow, go Detroit, because in some other airports, it's not quite that. We are advising right now, just for domestic travel, to get to the airport 2 hours in advance of your flight. And so just be aware of that. There's also an app out there. Hang on, I forgot the name of it, but I'll put it in the chat. There's an app out there that will update you if you're interested on wait times at various airports. So I'll put that in the chat.
Sure. That's the TSA app, and the TSA app, if you haven't downloaded it and you're a frequent traveler, Stacy will put that link in the comment section, but 100% really great. It's updated, I think, fairly in real time, and will tell you the average wait time or the current wait time at the airport. And I know that Detroit is on that list. So great resource if you're trying to figure out how much time you need to have. Obviously, that's subject to change, but like Stacy mentioned, we're recommending getting to the airport 2 hours early. But I can speak specifically for Detroit, as we've looked at many of the wait times in Detroit. Detroit has historically been extremely quick, and they haven't seen some of the issues that other airports have. So very excited that Detroit is yet again a phenomenal city to fly in and out of. Some different topics that you may not have heard, but we wanted to just throw in there. So Delta has a lot of other resources and services that we have available. The first one is private aviation for small groups. Wheels Up, Delta Airlines has an equity stake in Wheels Up. Wheels Up actually acquired our Delta private jets, and through that earned an equity stake in Wheels Up. And so they are a sister or brother company of Delta Airlines, and really phenomenal. They're the largest private aviation company in the world, and they own over 300 managed aircraft. The entire team there is class act, amazing. And I will tell you that we've worked with several of our customers, and it's not as expensive as you may think. I'm not going to fool you. It is definitely a luxury to have that. But if you're working with a board members or C-suite executives, it's a lot more affordable and not tremendously more expensive than a international business class seat. So definitely keep that in mind if it fits for you. Flexibility to fly into a small airport. For instance, if you fly in and you want to go to Napa Valley, you have to fly in, San Francisco Airport. It's 2 hours to Napa Valley. Napa Valley Airport's right there. It's 15 minutes to downtown Napa. Just to give you an idea, it's a great bit of flexibility. The second option is Delta Charters. You have the ability to charter an aircraft. It's one of our aircrafts that we use in main service. They come in a variety of sizes, anywhere from about 90 passengers up to over 250 passengers. You can charter the aircraft and we can provide a quote. Essentially, the entire charter is yours and you can fill the aircraft as needed. And then the third option is Delta Cargo. Something that a lot of people may not associate Delta with, but as you're sitting on a Delta aircraft, there's a tremendous amount of cargo that is sitting below you. We have an amazing service and great colleagues over at Delta Cargo that will be there for you, and they remain committed to getting your cargo to where it needs to go. Shout out here to the team at Delta. Delta actually played a huge role in transporting a lot of the COVID-19 vaccines. And still, we have a COVID-19 vaccine hub that monitors COVID vaccines that are on our cargo. And so we have partnered with many of the vaccine providers to get those vaccines to the people that need them and into the communities that also need them, which is basically every community. Again, some more information. Delta charters, really great. We have a fleet for the charters of 11 Boeing 757s and have 71 VIP configured seats. These are actually the same aircrafts that are used by the NBA. The NBA charters many of our aircrafts. Essentially, these VIP charters have those 71 VIP configured seats, which are very similar to our international Delta One lie flat seats. They're in quadrants of 4. So if you're looking for move a large group of VIP customers, really great to know that it's there. And then I'll go ahead and skip this, but again, please keep wheels up in mind if it works for any of your customers, clients, or travelers. It's a really great option. And again, it's not as horribly priced as you may think it is, and it's a little bit more affordable than what you may have as a preconceived idea in your head. Again, cargo, a little bit more information under the additional details of some of the countries that we have and locations that we have. Again, if you have cargo needs or you're transporting stuff, keep us in mind for the future. And then wanted to throw this in just to quickly talk about on Delta Airlines side and the team that Stacy and I are on. If you have a meeting or group that is traveling, we have our Delta Meeting Network product, which is really great for that meeting and the attendees. Essentially how it works is you go to delta.com/meetings, you register your meeting. You need to have a little bit of information about the dates and the destination and then some contact information. It's submitted, we approve it. Once it's approved and it's sent back to you, you'll get a meeting code, which works very similar to a promo code. If you're shopping on, I don't know, Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's.com, like a promo code, it's a meeting code that goes on delta.com and it provides a discount of 2 to 10% for domestic flights or 3 to 10% on international flights. And those discounts are applied directly and immediately. So you get those upfront costs. And as the association or convention or company that is using this, for every 40 round trip travelers you have, you receive 1 complimentary domestic 48 ticket that you can use however you so choose on a site visit, or you can fly in a customer, however you'd like to use it. And then Delta is very unique because Delta is the only airline that has remained committed to the meetings, incentives, conferences, and expo business for over 35 years. Many other airlines kind of flow in and out of that MICE segment, but we've remained committed. We have a dedicated team that is dedicated entirely to our meeting business, and we'll make sure to follow up, and maybe Stacy can put the email address of our Delta Meeting Network. It's just Delta Meeting Network at delta.com, but they're more than happy to provide some additional information to kind of walk you through that process. But a great way to provide upfront discounts to your attendees or travelers, and also earn that back end of 1 ticket for every 40 round trip passengers. Gonna pause there for a second. Any other questions, Stacy, or anything on the chat? Oh, you're on mute.
Brian Walker, will Delta once again be offering group discounts for convention groups coming to our area? And you just outlined that with our Delta Meeting Network product.
Again, our team of, well, first off, myself and Stacy would be more than happy to provide some more information. If you need group discounts, we definitely still offer those, and our Delta Meeting Network product is that product that works in conjunction with groups and would offer you those discounts. So please feel free to reach out. At the end of this presentation, I have my email and Stacy's email, but it's just our first name, period, our last name at delta.com, but happy to provide some more information and walk you through that and make it as easy as possible. Also, just on a completely separate note, that's just something else to think about. Delta's redoing our Wi-Fi on our aircrafts, which you're like, why am I talking about Wi-Fi on an aircraft? But this is amazing. It's super high speed Wi-Fi. We're redoing all of our aircrafts. Ashton made an announcement a year or two ago that eventually we're going to move to completely free Wi-Fi. We haven't gotten to that point yet, but that's the journey that we're going on. And step one is updating our Wi-Fi. We are going to have it on 3 different Delta fleet types, and it's being installed this year, and it will be on a total of 319 of our aircrafts. And essentially what this does is it gets you true best of the best Wi-Fi. Hopefully it's the Wi-Fi that you're experiencing at your house. It lets you, go through Instagram, watch videos, watch TikToks on the aircraft as you want, and eliminates that annoying buffering or issues that you have with slow speeds that have historically been on aircrafts. Also, there'll be 2 different providers. There's Viasat and GoGo, which many of you are aware of. There'll be 1 subscription at this point in time, as it still has a cost, and 1 subscription will allow you to use it on both providers. Again, we still remain committed to free messaging through iMessage or WhatsApp, a way to stay connected while you're in the air, and that is free of charge. Something that are really important to myself and to Stacy, but also really important as our company and is really part of our culture as a whole. We all at Delta Airlines have traveled, and many of us have experienced many parts of the world and understand the benefits that diversity, equity, and inclusion bring to our communities, to our people, and to ourselves. Delta is always going to continue to listen and learn and continue to have an ear, but we remain 100% committed to our DE&I efforts at Delta Airlines. Later today, Stacy and I are presenting to a large group of people on Pride Month, and many other groups at Delta. We're presenting to our sales colleagues, but many of us are doing similar things. We have a goal to double the percentage of Black officers and director level employees by 2025. We have all gone through a training course for unconscious bias. And it's something that I'm really proud to work for an airline that is, truly doing what's right and continuing to put its money and mouth where, money where the mouth is, and making sure that we're making changes at Delta and remain committed to DE&I efforts. Transitioning to another topic, sustainability is a really huge focus for Delta Airlines, and it's something that you're going to be hearing a lot more of. And we understand that in order to connect the world, we have to treat the world, and leave it so that future generations can take advantage of the beautiful places that we fly to. To be carbon neutral airline, we are a carbon neutral airline since March of 2020. We made that commitment right before really the COVID-19 pandemic hit. We pledged to spend over $1 billion to be a carbon neutral airline. And through COVID-19 and some of the financial struggles we had, we have kept that commitment, and we are really proud to be a carbon neutral airline from March 2020 forward. Many people aren't aware of that, but it is a commitment that we continue to remain committed to, and we're continuing to grow that. You'll see a lot of interesting stuff in the news. Sustainable air fuel, or SAF. Many of our corporate customers have been able to add agreements where they leverage that SAF air fuel to help with the sustainability, and as a partnership between corporations and Delta, growing that. One of the struggles that we have right now is there's only 2 sustainable air fuel providers. And so we're working to continue to grow those so that there's more to buy and there's more that we can put into our fleets. This is some more information, some statistics. I won't go to all of this, but really is a true testament. We have a sustainability team at Delta Airlines, very similar. We have a chief diversity, equity, and inclusion officer. We also have a sustainability team led by Amelia DeLuca at Delta Airlines. And really, this is a key core focus alongside DE&I for Delta Airlines. Kind of shifting gears altogether, and I'm sorry I've had 1,000 slides, but a lot to cover, lots happened, and we want to keep you kind of up to date. COVID testing, international flights, or if you need COVID testing, we have a tremendous amount of resources, again, on delta.com. If you go in, you can put in the country that you're going to, and we'll help you find a testing provider that meets those specific country regulations and requirements. So it'll go on, you put in your origin and destination, and you can see the providers that will be available. Again, trying to make that whole travel experience extremely easy. And then last one I have 2 more slides, and that's it, is the digital health passport, or however you want to call it. We're launching a test of a new solution between Atlanta and London Heathrow Airport. We're really working and understand again that we need to make this as easy as possible for everyone. So we're testing this out, and I know that our internal teams are really busy on that digital health verification solution. We have a exciting new heading to London Heathrow with Virgin Atlantic. Within the app, a lot of the digital assets that you have to upload have all been streamlined into the app to make that process extremely easy for our travelers. And then last but not least, just wanted to say thank you. Again, this is our contact information. But before we kind of wrap this up, wanted to see, Stacy, any questions, or before I go to there, please go into the Q&A session, ask some questions. We'd love to interact and kind of what's on top of your mind. And if we didn't cover something, please let us know what's important and what's on your heart, and would love to interact.
I think we covered all the questions in the Q&A. We've had I should say I have had much dialogue going on in the chat. We've had some amazing feedback. Thanks to those of you who have provided feedback on jobs we've done in the past, ways we've worked together before, and how you feel about our company going forward. So thank you so much for that feedback. We truly cannot do what we do without that feedback, because we try to be, my main job is to be the voice of my customer and provide that feedback to my leadership, who then provides it back to our executive leadership. And every decision this company makes is always and without a doubt with our customers in mind first, along with safety. So thanks again for all the feedback. We always appreciate it, good, bad, or otherwise. We really do solicit and listen to all of that feedback.
Could not have said it better. Again, these are our contact information. We'll also work with the Detroit Metro CVB to see if we can get this presentation out and or provide our contact information so that you have that readily available. Please reach out. We'd love to hear from you. And if there's any questions, comments, concerns, anything we can help with, please feel free to reach out. And can't say enough amazing things about our Detroit Metro CVB. So thank you very much for letting us be here. Thank you to all the partners and members, really the best of the best. And we couldn't do it without Detroit, and we're grateful for all your support and partnership.
Great. Thank you, Stacy and Patrick. I hope everyone enjoyed this informative session. But before we end our webinar session, we have a bonus for all our webinar participants. Doug Schwartz, who is a great partner to the Detroit Metro CVB. He's the owner of Trip Wipes, and he will send each attendee a wellness kit. So please look in the chat section for more information. But Doug, thank you for extending this great gift to our partners. I tell you, it's great about working in a collaboration. One thing I think 2020 has taught us is that we need each other for a better destination sale, for better in promoting services and benefits to our clients. We are all in this together. So once again, thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Patrick. Once again, this email, the copy of the presentation will be emailed to everyone. But again, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to connecting in person.
Yes.
In person soon. So everyone have a great day and God bless.